Hello there, very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1 for the news first about the people. Come first, I'm Martin Satyanesan. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this afternoon. Indian Finance Minister in Sri Lanka on an official visit. 6 people arrested at Devulapitiya protest against electricity tariff hike. CID arrests drug importer for substandard products. Nilwala River and Nathanagalu reach minor flood level. Heavy rains expected. Yemen's Houthis say they launched ballistic missiles, drones at Israel. New Zealand-South Africa clash of the Titans at the ICC Cricket World Cup 2023. On to those stories in detail. Indian Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs Nirmala Sitharaman arrived in Sri Lanka on Wednesday on an official 3-day visit. A spokesperson for the Bandaranaike International Airport said the Indian minister was accompanied by a 4-member delegation. During the visit, Sitharaman is expected to deliver the keynote address as a guest of honor at the NAM 200 organized by Government of Sri Lanka to commemorate the 200th anniversary of arrival of Indian origin Tamils to Sri Lanka on 2nd November at Sugadadasa Indoor Stadium in Colombo. Sitharaman is in Sri Lanka based on an invitation extended by President Ranil Wickremesinghe. As a part of the official visit, the Union Finance Minister will have call-on meetings with President Ranil Wickremesinghe and Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. Sri Lanka police obstructed the protest march that commenced from Devulapitiya against the increase in electricity tariffs. Sri Lanka police said that a monk and 5 others were arrested. Several groups, including the Electricity Users Association, the Citizens Advisory Council, the Collective of Civil Organization, had organized a protest march against the increased electricity tariff from Devulapitiya. After addressing the media, the group marched from the Devulapitiya bus stand to the Colombo-Kurunagala main road. Newsfirst correspondent said that a large number of police personnel were deployed in the area. A heated exchange followed after Sri Lanka police obstructed the protest march. Though the protesters moved aside to pave the way for the flow of traffic, another heated exchange took place after Sri Lanka police blocked the road. Thereafter, the chairman of the Citizens Movement Against Fraud, Corruption and Waste, Jamuni Kamanta Tushara, and the secretary of the Electricity Users Association, Sanjeeva Damika, were arrested. Thereafter, several others, including Venerable Balangoda Kasapatero, were arrested as well. The Criminal Investigations Department arrested the owner of a drug import company for importing substandard human immunoglobulin. The 57-year-old suspect, a resident of Raddolugama, was arrested from Company Vidya. The suspect will be produced in court on Wednesday. Recently, it was revealed that 22,500 substandard human immunoglobulin vials were imported to Sri Lanka using false documentation. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation revised the prices of its petroleum products with effect from midnight on Tuesday.
A litre of octane 92 petrol was reduced by 9 rupees to 356 rupees. A litre of octane 95 petrol was increased by 3 rupees to 423 rupees. A litre of auto diesel was increased by 5 rupees to 356 rupees. A litre of super diesel was increased by 10 rupees to 431 rupees. A litre of kerosene was increased by 7 rupees to 249 rupees. The Lanka Indian Oil Company, the local subsidiary of the Indian Oil Corporation, also revised its fuel prices in line with the rates announced by the CPC. The All Ceylon Private Bus Owners Association said there will be no requirement for a fare hike despite diesel prices being increased. The Public Services Trade Union Alliance warned that strict trade union action would have to be taken ahead of the budget.
We took to the streets on the 16th and the 30th of October. However, we are prepared for a massive campaign ahead of the budget. Though we are from the public sector, we took to the streets as the general public. The electricity and water tariffs affects us too. At the same time, we will launch a struggle for our wages. The President has reportedly informed the Cabinet of a public sector salary hike. However, the media reported that 2 weeks ago, the President secured Cabinet approval for the budget. Yet he makes this joke claiming that the Cabinet was informed of a pay hike. It's a joke. If Ranil Wickremesinghe thinks the people in the country can be deceived, he is wrong. While the President says one thing, another Cabinet Minister Bandula Gunawardena goes on to say there is no possibility of increasing the salary as the existing salaries are being paid with greater difficulty. The only way these protests can be stopped is if they communicate us about the salary increment.
The Jatika Jana Balavegya says that the economy needs to be strengthened to a level that can at least address the issues faced by the people on a daily basis.
Based on the rising cost of living, even the requested amount for salary increment is insufficient. This was identified by the JVP and revealed in advance. We don't need the credit for that. Our requirement is that the state sector employees must be provided this legitimate increase so they could at least take care of day-to-day matters. When you look at all these budget documents, what we can say is that the status of the common man will further get impacted. We always stood by the fact that this method of managing the economy of this country is wrong, and any budget prepared based on the economy is wrong. We have always voted against this method of handling the economy. There is no point of a parliament and the president being stable in a country that is unstable economically, socially, culturally and politically. What we need is to make the country stable so we can uplift the livelihood of the people.
The Citizens' Power Movement commented on the salary hike of the public sector employees.
The livelihood of the citizens has fallen to an unbearable level. The cost of goods has spiked by 400% and the VAT is to be increased to 18%. Ranil Wickremesinghe says one thing and Bandula Gunawardena says the opposite of it. They say Ranil has said to the cabinet to increase the salaries of the state sector employees. On the other hand, Bandula Gunawardena says that there are no funds to increase the salaries. We always ask, is Ranil Wickremesinghe the president? Are the Rajapaksas the president? They increase the salary and then take that from the other side. They will increase the salary between 10,000 rupees to 15,000 rupees. On the other hand, VAT is 18%. Fuel, cooking gas and kerosene prices have increased. Medicine prices have increased too. Prices of goods have increased by 400%. They give and take it from the other side. Who do they think we are? The Ranil, Nandalal, IMF and this new liberal gang have completely taken everything from us.
The lawyers for Truth and Justice expressed the following views during a media briefing.
Ranil Wickremesinghe කියන වචනේ යම් ආකාරයක විශ්වාස කරන්න පුළුවන්.
You can somewhat trust what is being told by Ranil Wickremesinghe. He will increase the salaries. However, state, semi-sector, private sector are requesting for a minimum salary increase of 20,000 rupees. Definitely, Ranil will not increase the salary to that extent. Irrespective of whether Ranil Wickremesinghe increases the salary by 3,000 to 4,000 rupees or 5,000 to 10,000 rupees, he will say, I have increased the salaries. Do not get deceived. Continue your struggle until your demands are met. Because the group that is in power is good at deceiving people.
පිකාසෝලා ටිකක් තමයි මේ දැන් මේ මොහොතේ බලයට පත් වෙලා ඉන්නේ.
Sri Lanka's Met Department said that heavy showers about 100 millimeters are likely at some places in the western Sabaragamuwa and Uva provinces and in Galle, Matara, Kandy and Nuwara districts.
Engineer SPC Sugeshwara, the Director of the Hydrology and Disaster Management at the Department of Irrigation, said that following a heavy downpour, water levels of the Athanagula Oya and the Nilbala River reached minor flood level. Several roadways in Makandura were flooded after the Kirama-Ara waterway broke its banks. The Mulatiyana-Kamrupitiya road was also flooded from Makandura. One sluice gate of the Kukleganga Reservoir was opened due to heavy rains experienced in Kalutara. Newsfirst correspondent said that 88 cubic meters of water is released per second from the reservoir. The Bulat Sinhala Mulkava main road was flooded from several areas in Atabagas Handia in Dambala. Transportation was also disrupted as a result of the flooding. Two sluice gates of the Varapitiya River in Valasmula were opened after a heavy downpour was experienced in the area. The water is released to the Kirama Oya. Several roads in the Malimbad Divisional Secretariat zone in Mathura remain flooded.
වතුර වැඩි වෙලාද? වැඩි වෙනවද?
The Malimbada Kamburupitiya road via Kaddua remains flooded as well.
News First with the people.
Today is day 40 of the second leg of the LOLC Divi Savia program. Today's program took place in the Badula and VLO education zones in the Badula district. The second leg of the LOLC Divi Savia program will provide school books and stationery items required for 1 year to schools with less than 100 students. School books and stationery items were provided to students from the Nelum Gama Vidyalaya, Uva Katavala Tamil Vidyalaya, Serendip Tamil Vidyalaya, Navalavatta Tamil Vidyalaya, Kottagoda Udagama Vidyalaya, Pallevala Vidyalaya and Walluvar Tamil Vidyalaya. School books and stationery items were provided to students at the Badulla Zonal Education Office as well. This worthy initiative is a collaboration between LOLC Group and the Ministry of Education. The LOLC Divi Savia program will continue to create a bright future for the country's student population. The third edition of the Jat Pintaru Abhiman program's practical workshop and conference organized together by Jat Holdings PLC and Newsfirst got underway in Kuruvita, Ratnapura.
The Jat Pintaru Abhiman program is organized together by Jat Holdings PLC and Newsfirst to uplift the woodcraft industry in Sri Lanka. The program aims to produce painters with internationally recognized NVQ level certifications.
Humanitarian groups have condemned Israel's attack on Jabalia refugee camps, saying the air raid should be a wake-up call to world leaders to secure a ceasefire in Gaza. The director of the nearby Indonesian hospital has said at least 50 people were killed and many others wounded in the attack in Yemen's Houthis rebels claim they launched a large number of ballistic missiles and drones towards Israel and warned of more attacks to come.
Israeli forces have been carrying out regular nightly raids across the occupied West Bank, including Jenin, after Hamas fighters attacked Israel on the 7th of October. Saudi Arabia has condemned Israel's inhumane targeting of the Jabalia refugee camp in a statement shared by Saudi Arabia's foreign ministry. Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry said 50 people were killed and 150 wounded. But a nearby hospital said it received 400 casualties, including 120 dead. The Israeli military said the strike killed a senior Hamas commander and underground terror infrastructure beneath buildings collapsed afterwards. Gaza's Nusret refugee camp is one of the residential areas targeted by Israeli attacks in recent days. The Israeli army has said that 9 Israeli soldiers have been killed in Gaza without providing specific details about where or when. Chilean President Gabriel Boric said his government is recalling its envoy to Israel, George Carvajal, for consultations in light of what Boric said were unacceptable violations of international humanitarian law by Israel in the Gaza Strip. Colombia is also recalling ambassador to Israel for consultations. Bolivia's government on Tuesday said it broke diplomatic ties with Israel after accusing them of committing crimes against humanity in Gaza. The announcement makes the country among the first ones to actively break diplomatic relations with Israel over its war in Gaza in retaliation to the 7th of October attacks by the Palestinian militant group Hamas in southern Israel.
The official ICC Men's Cricket World Cup India 2023.
It is a clash of titans. New Zealand and South Africa, top teams in the ICC World Cup 2023, will clash at the Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune.
South Africa have won 5 out of their 6 matches, losing only to the Netherlands and are placed second in the points table. The Proteas batting lineup features Quinton de Kock, Aiden Markram, Henrik Klaasen and David Miller. New Zealand have lost 2 of their 6 matches so far to India and Australia. The game between New Zealand and South Africa will start at 2 p.m. Sri Lanka time, and cricket fans can catch all the action live via the MTV NBC Media Network, the official local broadcast rights holders of the ICC Cricket World Cup. The matches can be viewed live on TV1 and www.sirasatv.lk and on TNL. In addition, the match will also be aired on YFM.
From that, we bring to a close this edition of Lunchtime News on TV1. For details of these stories and much more, simply log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First, where the people come first, I'm Martin Satyanesan. You take care and good day.